it's Shay and welcome back to Lavender Living, a series where for June Pride Month I upload a video every day. Today I'm going to talk about 5 books that have some pretty decent asexual representation in them, and I only own 2 of them, and so 3 of them I'm not going to be able to flip through or nothing, so sorry about that. The first one I'm going to be talking about is We Awaken by Callista Lynn. This was the first book that I ever read that had asexual representation. What are my bangs doing? How did that stray hair get like that? And I was lucky enough that it was done pretty well, because I read several books that didn't have such hot asexual representation of vanilla, but I was lucky enough where this one did. This is about a character who is practicing for a dance recital so that she can get a scholarship to go to a school in New York. But while she's dreaming, she kind of enters this dream world that is another reality, and she meets this girl who is asexual, and they form this friendship and then a romance, and they kind of help each other discover that they are both asexual. And the description of it was done really well. It was done really well, and I talked about it more in my review on this book earlier in the month, so don't forget to check that out in the cards. And it just talked about how like a technical definition of asexual, and it was just, it's like 8:30 p.m. It's past my bedtime. Watch the video. I talk about it better. But basically, it didn't say it wasn't real. It had a technical definition, and it had like a process of the character actually discovering that and accepting it, and it was the best thing about this book. The next book that has pretty good asexual representation is Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kahn. This is about a biromantic asexual woman of color, and she's in college, and she meets this guy that she starts to have a crush on, and she's just broken up with her ex, but she's just broken up or got broken up with from her ex, who she always complained about Alice not really seeming to enjoy it when they did it, and she was just talking to her therapist about it, and I don't remember if the asexuality was a new idea that was brought up to Alice, or if she already knew about it and was just trying to navigate that in the dating life. And she has to kind of navigate the dating life and accept it. And what was really good about this book was that there were characters that both supported her and were angry or disbelieving about her asexuality, and the way that it ended was very positive, and it was constant. So the next book is Tosh Hearts Tolstoy. This is about a girl who is the creator and director of a web series where she and her friends kind of reimagined Tolstoy, kind of like the Elizabeth Bennet diaries, and she is discovering that she's not really interested in that aspect of romantic relationships, and she's kind of accepting that and trying to learn how to come out to her friends and the guy that she has romantic feelings for, and that reciprocates those feelings. And what's done well about this is that it's, again, constant, so it's not just mentioned once and done. It's like several times through the book, and it's a subplot. Like, the main plot is her rising fame with the web series, and I think that this, I do need we do need those main plots with asexuality, such as with Let's Talk About Love, and that was pretty much the main plot, but with Tosh Hearts Tolstoy, it was a subplot that was done really well, and it was brought up several times, not only with her friends, but with this guy that she'd been chatting with online that she kind of started liking, and it had both a positive and negative reaction from romantic people. Because for the guy she liked online, he didn't take it well at all, and he very rudely said, "I can't be with you, I need this, blah blah blah." And then the guy she does end up with was, she was saying how she was scared that he would leave her because she didn't want to do that, and it was, the way he reacted was done very well. He said that I should be part of making this decision, like it's not just your decision, like let me try and see if I can do this. Next one only had it mentioned briefly, but the way it was done was very well, and that is Jack of Hearts and Other Parts. This is about a gay, sexually positive or sex positive boy in high school who kind of has this sex advice column, and he helps people become more comfortable with their sexuality. And what was good about this, in the brief time that asexuality was mentioned, it was in an email question, and I think it was worded as like, what is this? Am I broken? Is there something wrong with me, etc.? And Jack replied, no, you're not. This is a valid sexuality. It's a real thing. This is what it's called. And it was, I believe the writer is Allah, meaning they are attracted to people in that way. And for an aloe person, I think that was done very well. And like, I think the other authors for the most part are aloe as well, but like, it wasn't, for the brief time it was mentioned, it was done very well. And the last one is Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna McGuire. This doesn't really go in depth a lot in asexuality, but it's still good for when it was mentioned. This is about a group of kids who stumbled across different doorways that took them into different worlds, and they come back and their parents think they're crazy, and so they send them to the school to help them move on. What was done well about this was that the main character, or at least in this book, because I think they switch main characters or perspectives, narrators, was that this MC, she knew off the, like, before the story even started, that she's aspec, and she just states it flat out, like, yeah, I'm asexual, not really into that, and a couple people are like, what? And then others like, oh, yeah, okay. And she has to remind them a couple times, or it's brought up a couple times, whether in her own thoughts or out loud. And for a book that doesn't, like, it has other LGBT characters, like there's a trans character, for a book that doesn't really focus on sexuality and stuff, it's just like a thing, it was done really well, and it was like a small mention, but it was positive. There are a lot of other books that I've read, not a lot, but like enough to count on two of my hands, that have asexuality representation. Some of them aren't good, some of them are average, some of them I haven't read, and some of them I've heard that are pretty bad. But if you want books that have good asexual representation, then definitely check out those 5. I will put the Goodreads description down I'll put the Goodreads links down in the description, so make sure to add those to your TBR. I can see myself doing this in the mirror. It's really funny looking. Sorry. But yeah, that's all I've got for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload. I upload every Wednesdays except during Pride Month, where I upload a video every day for Lavender Living, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching. Bye.